Hi everyone, Alex Tardy here with an update. Here it is, August 16th. The now named Tropical Cyclone Hilary. We're going to talk about the potential impacts from Hilary. You can see it on satellite and you can see the latest forecast from the National Hurricane Center projecting the cyclone to move up along the Baja coast, potentially reaching San Diego this weekend or Monday. Here's the highlights. It continues to be hot and we continue to see isolated thunderstorms. Some of those storms are drifting off into the high desert and even parts of the valleys. The door is open. The monsoon flow is here. Moisture is here. We even had thunderstorms this morning over the coastal waters above the fog. But the door open means that we have a path for a potential hurricane to come right up the coast, potentially reaching San Diego. We're going to look for increasing offshore winds as we go into the weekend, starting on Saturday. Some of our first heavy rain bands or individual cells likely will be on Saturday. The increasing moisture is going to be widespread Saturday night into Sunday. Some of it could last in terms of rainfall and showers and thunderstorms into Monday. Overall, with the offshore flow, there'll be a lot cooler temperatures this weekend once the rain and clouds move on in. So let's look at some of the details. There it is, Tropical Cyclone Hilary. This is a measure of cloud top temperature. So what is it detecting? It's detecting ice, top of thunderstorms near the stratosphere, way up around 40,000 or higher feet. So it's showing up as a pretty intense storm already. So it's young, it's healthy, it's developing rapidly. Do hurricanes or any tropical cyclone affect San Diego? Short answer is yes, we have had them. And this map shows here. Some notable impacts are listed here. TCK, some other storms that brought more gentle, moderate rain, and other storms that indirectly produced intense, isolated, heavy rain, such as Rosa, such as Dolores, such as Norbert. Most recently, Tropical Cyclone K. This map shows the intensity of these tropical cyclones tend to weaken rapidly when they make it up around the Baja, California, Mexico border. So that's typically because of cooler waters that they encounter, meaning water below 80 degrees. An example of last year's Tropical Cyclone K came up along the coast and then stopped and turned west, then stalling and decaying. But it sent significant rain into Southern California. Another example, years ago, Tropical Cyclone Kathleen went right up through the Imperial Valley. Even though it weakened, it brought really heavy rain into the deserts. Okay, what's the proposed track and cone? So this cone is a history of forecast error over the past 5 years, and it also reflects the weather guidance or model data that we're using. So the closer and tighter it is means there's less uncertainty overall and less error over the past few years. Of course, we don't get many opportunities to predict a track like this up the Baja into the California Bight, potentially clipping as a tropical storm into Orange County and San Diego. This will be updated at least 4 times a day, and so each day we'll update this as well. The rainfall forecast, potentially tremendous amount of rain. Typically, the east side of a hurricane has the greatest impacts. It has the strongest wind, biggest storm surge. It has the heaviest rain bands. All sides are dangerous. But with a path going up the coast like this brings really high potential for heavy rain. That red shaded is several inches of rain for our deserts. And a lot of this rain is going to occur a short period of time, Saturday and especially Sunday. A little more modern view of the rainfall potential shows the same thing though. 3 to 5 inches from the mountains to the deserts. And even on our coast, 1 to 2 inches. A lot of that rain is going to occur in short bursts later on Saturday into Sunday, some lingering Monday. I like to show this because there's a range in the potential. We don't look at one computer model or 2 computer models. We look at dozens. So what I did here is I looked at 2 locations, San Diego left, Palm Springs right. And for Palm Springs, there's an indication of anywhere from 1 to 5 inches. So if the forecast track goes a different direction or further east, they're getting less rain. If it goes really far west, they're getting less rain. If it goes right up along the coast, they could get the most rain. San Diego, same thing. The forecast track and all this tropical moisture. If it goes further west, we'll get less rainfall. If it goes further east, we might get even more rainfall. It depends on the track. So ideally, with the storm being just to our west along the coast, that could bring some of the heaviest rain we've seen from a tropical cyclone. And for that matter, starting Saturday, there is an excessive rain outlook indicated in yellow. The green shade means low probability. The yellow shade is a higher probability. This only expands as we go into Sunday. Here's an example. On Saturday, it's only a low probability on the coast. So what's that mean? It means the threat for flooding rains, too much rain, excessive rain on the coast is not none, but it's low. But it's in the moderate level for the mountains and deserts. And then when we get into Sunday, it's moderate everywhere. Okay, same with the thunderstorm outlook. Saturday and Sunday could be rock and roll with thunderstorms. Now, the majority of the impacts are going to be from rain bands, heavy rain, but lightning will be a threat and a danger too, embedded in the heavy rain. Okay, tropical storm force winds. Is there a potential? What does that mean? Is there potential for winds sustained, not just gusts, but 40 miles per hour or higher? Short answer is yes. You can see, even though it's at the end of the forecast period, by the time the storm gets here, that we are in a probabilistic range of 10 to 30% along the San Diego, Orange County coast. That's unusual. That's unusual. Worth noting. Last year, Tropical Cyclone K produced this amount of rainfall and wind as it moved up along the coast. The ocean temperatures. These are also important. These don't control everything, but water is above average, warmer than normal along the Baja region, in the source region where Hilary is developing. You also note the El Nino area along the equator, which is continuing to intensify and expand, and some very large pockets of anomalously warmer than usual water in the East Pacific really stand out, separate from El Nino. The moisture content is high, not just because it's the equator and the tropics, but look at all the moisture in red, over 2 inches of water vapor in the atmosphere, all bunching up and available for Hilary, and with the potential path of Hilary going right towards San Diego. Why is there a path? Well, right now we have heat dome over us and a weak low pressure area in the upper atmosphere. That's drawing the monsoonal flow from south to north across our region. It's also keeping a deep marine layer. Now, Hilary might be able to squeeze up in between that. Doesn't look like the upper level low pressure is going anywhere. The upper level high pressure is strengthening and building over the central plains into a huge heat dome this weekend. By the time we get into Sunday, Monday, when we expect landfall late Sunday into early Monday, the path is set for the tropical cyclone to make it up into the San Diego or the California bight of Southern California. Meanwhile, massive heat dome. The moisture will ride up and around that ring of fire or that heat dome. The heat dome is the H over the center of the country. Here's the highlights. It continues to be hot, and we continue to see isolated thunderstorms. Some of those storms are drifting off into the high desert and even parts of the valleys. The door is open. The monsoon flow is here. Moisture is here. We even had thunderstorms this morning over the coastal waters above the fog. But the door open means that we have a path for a potential hurricane to come right up the coast, potentially reaching San Diego. We're going to look for increasing offshore winds as we go into the weekend, starting on Saturday. Some of our first heavy rain bands or individual cells likely will be on Saturday. The increasing moisture is going to be widespread Saturday night into Sunday. Some of it could last in terms of rainfall and showers and thunderstorms into Monday. Overall, with the offshore flow, there'll be a lot cooler temperatures this weekend once the rain and clouds move on in. So let's look at some of the details.